Well, folks, it's time to kick it old school. Yeah.
This is not another portal call, is it? Like, are you about to announce that you're getting in the portal again? Is that what's about to happen?
No. I just had to look something up right quick.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Herb, how
it's
are
a
you
Herb N
doing
Rodg Podcast, man. I'm good.
I'm my favorite. I love the shirt. I must say I'm jealous. I didn't get it first. So
yes. Well, Raj, this isn't a really profligate show, so we can only buy specific things at specific times. We can't do all the excess, so. We got to spend what's exactly necessary. So fun show. Look like the comments are already
I'm glad
already going. So Kat, Carol, our favorite Georgia Bulldog.
Evening, Carol. We appreciate you.
And then of course Randy tried to prick us already. Like
one day, Randy, thank you for
Randy's gonna come on and be nice to Alabama fans. That's one day.
Yeah.
It won't be today, but that's it.
Yeah.
So good evening to you, Randy. Hope all is well, sir. Old Ty, Lady Alpha, how are you doing?
Evening, Lady Alpha.
Yeah, and we might not have Kat tonight because she did tell us she wasn't feeling
a little under the weather.
Hopefully she gets better soon. I know Lady Alpha was under the weather too.
Well,
so stuff is going around. I hope it's not being spread to our show.
No, it's here. It's here in Texas too. Some people at work got it. Some of the kids at the daycare, etc. So it's just going around. So it is what it is. But we do want to say we do appreciate everybody jumping in the podcast early and chiming in the comments, and we hope you all listen to all the schmooze that we get to talk about today and about Alabama football and sports. So hope you guys appreciate it. We appreciate y'all.
Then goes Brian as well. Nicely done, sir. There goes Brian as well, who just got over being sick. So let's wait on these two crazy eyes. Yeah. Our link was out late. The show started a little late. About the only thing we do on time is maybe get to bed, and sometimes not even that. So
if that.
Yes, Mike. So we got to take a minute. We've had a lot of people who kind of have helped us out over the years and done stuff. But man, Big Mike is above and beyond with not just the friendship, man, because today I got a very timely text message when I was feeling a little tired and out. But just like the other stuff that he does, man. And Mike works overtime to help make sure this show runs. So man, Mike, we definitely appreciate it, sir.
Again, to share Herb's sentiment, Mike does a lot of the behind the scenes work for us. We all text each other on a daily basis, but Mike has been one of the guiding lights of the program. So we greatly appreciate Mike's help, everything he does for us. And again, if you're a wrestling fan, even if you're not a wrestling fan, like Herb, so check out the podcast, Running Wrestling Podcast. I try to watch it on a weekly basis. I haven't seen every episode, but I try to watch it when I can. I watched the last one last Thursday when they had a big Royal Rumble draft. It was awesome. It even made Herb and I watch the Royal Rumble. We watched the Royal Rumble this past Saturday. It was awesome. Loved it. It kind of brought back some nostalgia memories for me. Watching the old Royal Rumbles back in the day. So I thought it was cool. Some things in wrestling have definitely changed since back in the day.
Yes.
There was a lot of things.
Well, I was the Attitude Era is the last time I watched.
Yes.
So
I want to say
definitely toned down.
Yeah, last time I watched wrestling like on a regular basis, on a weekly basis, early 2000s maybe. Then after that, I just kind of stopped. So, but again, kudos to Mike and his team out there. They're doing an awesome job.
Yep. Well said, Raj. Well said. And we had a first timer in there. What's up, Michael? Good to see you, man. I believe we are subbed to Michael, but we'll make a note just to make sure if we're not. But we're having a good night, man. It definitely happened.
Michael, we appreciate you for joining us, man. We hope you like what you see.
And you said it's making the rounds out here in Oklahoma, and you saw Lady Alpha somewhere there posted. She's sick as hell too. It's just it's out, man. Brian, glad to see. Like I said, glad to see you've improved for sure. And I'll get to Randy's other comment just a second because that's where we're going to start. So Brian said he's watching NXT. So Mike, we love you, man. You're awesome.
Love you too, Mike.
Sure. So caught up. What are y'all paying these days for that production help? 0. well, I won't say 0. Mike should be pleasantly surprised this week, but it's not near what he's worth. I'll say that.
Right.
So, and let's get to the other one. So I still think you're pricking us a little bit, but that's fine because we were going to start with the Grubb thing anyway. I'll give my first part of it. No, my preseason positioning, Alabama outside the top 10, I think is warranted.
I'm
until
perfectly fine with that.
Further notice. I think that's better for the program, honestly, better for them, and it's fair. I don't.
Yes, that's
Yeah, everybody gave their top fives. What was like last week when we were talking about? I can't see you putting Alabama above any of those. I couldn't. Out of top 10, I'm fine with that too. So it's good.
I can see it, honestly, just for right now and just the way we ended the season, even a little after 10, so be it. But this hiring doesn't. Or do you want to get into the hiring now, or you want to go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead. I didn't know if you wanted to comment that, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So for people who been living under the rock the past few days, obviously Ryan Grubb is heading back, I guess he is heading back to Tuscaloosa. He was.
Hold on. I'm not calling you a prick. I'm saying you like to poke the bear when it comes to Alabama. That's what I'm saying. Don't take that personal, and I'm definitely not calling you a prick. You're taking it to a whole nother level there.
I lost my train of thought. So,
Sorry.
Ryan Grubb, for those who don't know, Ryan Grubb was Kalen DeVore's offensive coordinator at the University of Washington 2 seasons ago when they made it to the national championship game. And obviously this past season, Grubb was the offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks. That lasted a year. They let him go on like early January, first week of January. They let him go. And once they let him go.
How much did you have to do with that? Him getting fired? Oh, okay.
Him getting fired or him coming to Tuscaloosa?
Both.
Him getting fired, 0. Him coming to Tuscaloosa, I know people. That's all I'm gonna say. I know people.
Okay.
So after he got fired from Seattle, a lot of people in Bama Nation were just making the assumption that he was just going to come down to Tuscaloosa, come back to Tuscaloosa, and things would work out smoothly. That didn't happen over the first few weeks. He was just sitting there idle, unemployed for a little while. But as of the past few days, he decided to come on back. He came back to Tuscaloosa, and I say come back because he did come to Tuscaloosa. He was our offensive coordinator for like a couple days or something. I don't know. Maybe
he looked around Tuscaloosa, was like,
he's like, nah, I can't do it. So with him being back, again to Randy's question and to Herb's point, I don't think this changes our mentality right now. We're not going to all of a sudden jump into national championship contenders. No. We have a lot of work to do, and we got to crawl before we walk. So we ended 9-4 last year. I am looking for us to make some improvements and make it to the playoff this year, but we're going to take our time on that one.
Yeah. I think what was it? We had Georgia and Texas from the SEC definitely above. I think that's still fair.
Yep.
I saw LSU in the top one. I don't know.
I don't know. I think when you give LSU that type of ranking, I guess, so to speak, you're basically saying Nussmeier is going to have like an elite season next year. I don't see it yet. Things could change. I don't know what their wide receiver core is going to look like. I don't know. I don't know enough. I'd have to dive into LSU's program to kind of help out with that one. So I'm not sure about that. But South Carolina is going to be good. Don't forget about them.
Yeah, they're ranked ahead of us too, I think. So, and probably Ole Miss if I had to guess.
Yep.
I don't think it's him that doesn't want to be here.
Yeah,
Charmaine. I think that's another family member that famously has gotten in the news about not wanting to be here. So
keep in mind,
are we excited about him? Yes.
Yeah, we're excited, and he's not going to be in Tuscaloosa for 10 years or whatever, so to speak. We know how the coordinators go. You'll come here, build up your resume, have a few good seasons, and then when another opportunity presents itself, he'll be gone. So if we can get him for a couple seasons and hopefully win a natty or two, whatever, then I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Bama to the Natty 2025. I feel like we still might need tickets if we're going to the Natty. I don't know that we're ready to be a participant. Like I said, I like the hire. There were times when I think Sheridan took too much flack for what happened this last year. I do think it was kind of more maybe like 50-50 him, Milroe, that kind of thing. But having said that, said this on another program, no matter what we thought, the coaching staff thought enough to go get Grubb. Grubb versus just keeping Sheridan. So clearly they thought all was not right on the coaching staff part either. So it's not just what we saw, not what the fans saw. Ryan, I'm not even posting all this other stuff. That's not how we're thinking. We're definitely cautious, optimistic, but cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
You know, I like to see what the start. So he needs to be the man. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so, because this next season could start off rough if he's not. But I think his offensive weapons will be much better coming into next year, and he'll have more guys that kind of fit his system. So I think he'll be happy. So I hope you guys miss a bowl this year and get your coaches fired. So just throwing that out there. Can't wait till we do our preseason stuff on them.
Oh yeah, cannot wait.
Yeah. So but having said that, definitely excited for what's going to happen. And I think the spring portal, we already talked about that. You know, what in football, is that what you're talking about? Like, so Brian, you're becoming Auburn because you and Air Raid Mike, you guys keep bringing up that you beat Alabama. You went 6-7. You lost to a service academy. Yeah. Are you really excited about your season? Like, this is how you're talking.
But when your team is having a bad season like that, you have to cherish the big wins, and you have to talk about it as much as possible, because it's probably not going to repeat itself next year. So it is what it is, and I understand it from their perspective. They have to take what they can get. They're nowhere near where Texas is. Let me say that again. They're nowhere near where Texas is, because Texas had an amazing season. Oklahoma is just completely the opposite. So it is what it is.
Yeah. So, so we're talking about grubbing them. So I guess he's probably posting that somewhere else. Okay. So anyway, looking excited for next year. But you have to see, and I definitely want to see what the spring game, what happens there, and if we lose a quarterback after that, I think it'll be interesting too as well. So, and I
would not be surprised if that happens, because when you look at let's just say Tyler and Keelan get it 1 and 2, whatever the case may be. If you're that third guy, you're looking and saying, if Keelan ends up as the backup quarterback, then obviously he's going to take over soon anyway. So if I'm the third guy, I'm thinking I might not get any playing time anytime soon, unless I want to be a backup. So.
See, I think this is part of the problem. Everyone went straight OC and nobody ever blamed Milroe. And we're about to get into his draft stock and stuff. So you're going to kind of see him with other people, but you can't have the quarterback and just say everything is everyone else's fault. You can't have the guy making the most on the team and then just blame everybody else. So
and he's the leader of your team. I split it up 50-50, coordinator and Milroe. Obviously the coordinator calls the calls, but if you're out there executing the calls, if you're out there executing the plays and everything just looks so trash-esque, it's just very, very, very trashy, then some of that blame has to lay on Milroe. So it's hard. And I defended Milroe as much as I could this season, but it got to a point where I said, okay, some of this stuff is his fault. Come on now.
Yeah. You can't throw 2 consecutive interceptions on drives and then just say, oh, it's other people. So
exactly.
And yes, this is Washington from Louisiana.
Yeah.
He was described as the muscle hamster on a show by Stephen M. Smith, and only JB knew what he was talking about. He's like, y'all have never heard muscle hamster? We said,
yes.
No.
I had never heard of the muscle hamster. And at first I thought it was just me, but everybody else was like, no, they had never heard of it. So I'm like, okay, so let me go look this term up, and now I know what it is. So
never heard that one before. So that was coming straight from Stephen M. So all right. So that's it with the Grubb hire. And Rodg also has a video out. So, and thank y'all for supporting the YouTube channel. We've been doing a lot more videos lately. Rodg has a video out about his specific thoughts on Grubb. So please go check that out after the show as well. All right. Senior Bowl done.
Yes.
We talked a little bit about, Charmaine, you can give your thoughts, but that's, I don't know about the muscle hamster or about my t-shirt.
Yeah.
Or about, I don't know which one you're disagreeing with.
I don't know. We can't go on with that, right? I mean, it is what it is. Hey, we appreciate you for joining us.
Yep. What's up, Tay? Roll Tide. Happy to see you. Milroe's draft stock after the Senior Bowl. Okay. JB said it very well. It's like, no matter what we think, it's what the scouts and everybody think. We knew going into it, he was kind of ranked as the 3rd quarterback. I just kind of did a little looking around. I think Kuiper famously, he's dropped him below, I think, Ewers and Will Howard now, as far as his rankings board. I've seen a couple 2-round mocks. Didn't have him in in the obviously her position. I'll take it. I will take it. You know, I looked at Matt Miller's 2-round draft. He didn't have Milroe going in the second round. He did have Ewers and Dart ahead of him. Dart's draft stock seems to have gone up a little bit. But what do you think after kind of reading what people have said and seeing his performance and seeing the game? What do you think about his draft stock?
So I watched the majority of his possessions during the Senior Bowl. I missed I missed like one or 2 minutes of it. But from what I saw, I didn't see anything that would drastically help him out as far as draft stock was concerned. He missed a couple of passes, took a couple of sacks. Now, keep in mind, one of those sacks he took, I mean, I think CJ Dupree forgot to pick up the block, and the guy just got in. It was like 2 seconds he got sacked. So that's not Milroe's fault. But overall, I just don't think he did anything to help improve his draft stock, which is a little upsetting. But I don't know. I still think he's going to be somewhere in the second round, late first round if he gets lucky, and depending on which team he goes to. And I think that's the big question here: is who is going to draft him? I don't think Milroe is ready to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. We saw too much of his negative tendencies when he was at Bama. He hasn't improved on those yet. It's going to take some time. But if he can go somewhere and be a good backup for a few years, whatever the case may be, I think he can improve there. I think if he gets the right mentor and under the right program and under the right coaching, I think he can have a great NFL career.
Yeah. And we did a video. Was that mine or yours? I can't remember. I did a video on Milroe's draft stock. But just to kind of really quickly reiterate it, that's exactly what I said. He doesn't need to start next year. He needs to go to a place where somebody can mentor him. Don't look at how you guys did Anthony Richardson. I'm not saying Anthony Richardson would have been great or terrible, whatever, but he was thrown into too soon for sure. Yeah. So no, definitely not. He needs to sit. He needs to learn. He needs to get better. The thing that I like for his NFL potential is, and this is what I said, I think Sunday night on Talking Bama, this will be the first time that somebody has chosen him.
Yes.
You know, and kind of to Charmaine, what she was talking about earlier, none of the OCs that he want, going back to Bill O'Brien, Tommy Rees, and then Sheridan last year, they were just kind of forced into a situation where they had to take him. This will be the first time somebody's saying, okay, we want him. We want this skill set, and this is what we're going for. Now, having said that, like I said, it didn't work out for Anthony Richardson. It's not working out so far.
Right.
But at least they're at least that's there. So I didn't see that, and I haven't seen it come up.
I saw something about that on, I don't know if it was social media or something on TV where his hand size was a little too small. Personally, I don't think that's going to affect him that much going forward. Yeah, but to Sherman's point, I did see that. I saw something about his hands being too small. I just lost my train of thought again.
We're getting old. It's been a rough week.
Yeah,
everything's been going around, and everybody's a little tired, so you can just kind of tell.
My issue with Milroe is that I don't want him going in and jumping into an NFL game and automatically thinking he can just run all over everybody. He's going to take a lot more hits. These hits are going to be harder in the NFL. He's going to take a lot more. Defenses are much faster in the NFL. I don't know if he's going to have enough time to even scramble to get out of bat. Obviously, he's fast, but we know about his speed. But he's going to have to learn how to get rid of that ball a lot quicker than he has been in the past. He can't hold it long enough. He's not going to be able to take that many hits. So that's my main concern for Milroe. And it's just going to take time. It's going to take time for him to improve. And again, to our point earlier, I would love for him to have a good mentor going forward. Maybe a Lamar Jackson, somebody that just talk to him and say, "Hey, man, I know where you're going to go. I've been there before. I got over that."
This one. Yep. All right. So that was good. We'll put a pin in that one. We'll go into that. So I had to say this first. So if you have to wear a shirt, you are absolutely right. My mom has let it be known that Rodg is the favorite. He's got twins. I can't compete with that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's tough on me. So that's why Rodg has the twins and Rodg has mom and I have the shirt. So that's how this works. So what's up, Coach, man? Good to see you,
Coach
sir.
Chris Hayes. Appreciate you for joining us, man.
Yes, sir, man. I always love to see him. So They speed. Yeah. No.
Not confirmed, but although the Dolphins organization has had some conversations with Milroe about him possibly being the backup. So, and I've mentioned it before, I wouldn't mind. Listen, I'm a Miami Dolphins fan. I wouldn't mind seeing him go there and be a backup with his speed. I think that would help. It's just, he just has a long way to go when it comes to the passing game.
Agreed.
Seeing him
at Dolphins game, yeah. Well, the Dolphins offense is like a lot of timing, and I don't think that yet. So.
Yeah, and just seeing him or two on the same team. Herb's my favorite, Rodg. Really, Coach? Really?
I won one.
Oh my gosh!
Yes. Oh, but I was going to say this when we put Coach up.
I respect that.
Check out Coach's channel for sure.
Yes.
Georgia Bulldog, but he breaks down all kinds of film.
The X's and the O's, yes.
The X's and O's of the play. Check out his channel, man. He's a good one for sure.
Oh, okay. So just waiting on Wednesday to roll around.
And this is true, Charmaine. I don't. He's got to go down right as the most polarizing figure, maybe, and at least in recent Alabama history. Nobody knows, like, it's you're on one side and you know what I mean. It's like my bottom line is no matter what you think of him, he was a Bama guy, and I hope he does well in the NFL. And that's like my last thought.
And let's point out that through this transition of us losing Saban and then getting DeBoer, he was one of those guys who kind of helped keep most of the team together. He was the leader on the team. Said, "Hey, I'm staying." Malachi Moore stayed. A lot of these other guys stayed. So we will always appreciate Milroe for that. And keep in mind, we won an SEC championship with him. We were about one touchdown away from winning going to a natty. I just think that on the other side, and to Herb's term, polarizing, some of his downfalls and some of his bad games are just going to supersede all the good stuff he's done for Bama. So whenever people talk about Milroe, they're going to bring up like, oh, remember the Oklahoma game or remember the Tennessee? They're going to bring up stuff like that. So we appreciate Milroe. Wish him the best of luck. But 2025 is going to be a new season, new coordinators, new QBs. We're going to have a very, very talented receiving core, talented running back room, defense. A lot of guys from the defense are coming back. Herb and I are uber excited about the season upcoming.
Mm-hmm. I want to make like an Uber Lyft joke there, but I'm going to let it slide so we can keep moving on with the show. All right. Rodg, I'm a surprise. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, no, I'm going to surprise you now before we get into our SEC awards from the year.
Top 5.
Rodg is top 5.
In no particular order.
Oh, where's Mike?
Top 5.
Rodg is top 5. No. Oh. Top 5 things to do on a Saturday now that there's no college football.
Oh, my gosh. This is... Okay. Can I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Well...
Wow, he's struggling.
College basketball. We have college basketball. That's one. The NBA. I'm a huge LeBron fan, so I got to watch.
I like how you just split basketball up into 2 categories.
College basketball. So I got college basketball. I've got the NBA. Oh, this is number 1. Spending more time with the family, of course. Spending even more time with the family. That should have been number 1.
That should be number 5, and only because you're trying to.
I recently started watching The Boys on Amazon Prime. So that takes up an hour or 2 hours, depending on how many episodes I want to watch. At number 5, having even deeper and lovely conversations with my wife. That's number 5.
I should dock you a point for using the family and the wife as 2 different ones. Like,
I'm running out of options here, man. It's hard when there's no college football. It is difficult. It is difficult.
I see the comments came up while I was on the other screen. Anybody else have what do you do? So let's see. We'll go back to this one. Honestly, yeah. I it's like kind of one of those.
Yeah,
it's time.
Yeah,
and I talked with you guys about it, so I know you guys were cool when he left. I didn't want to see Milroe go to another team, transfer portal wise.
Yeah.
But I did want what was best for him. So if he had transferred, I could have seen why he would do that. But yeah, I just felt like the way that whole thing, and like I said, people just kept getting 2 sides. It started to get personal at times.
It did.
So.
It did, and I think most of all, we're just more excited to see what the future holds. We know the next QB coming in here is going to be able to distribute the ball to some of our playmakers a little more than, maybe a lot more than Milroe is doing. So we appreciate Milroe. Let's not forget that. But yeah, we're excited for the future.
Can you call yourself an elite QB if you never won a lacrosse national championship? Yeah, Buckner, Mike's favorite. So yeah. Roger. Look, not only do I have the dad jokes and the dad sense of humor, I also have the dad bod I'm rocking over here. So I've got everything but the kids, man. So that is definitely me. So Chris, yep. And she's saying the same thing for Georgia. They're ready to kind of see what they've got. Yep. You know, they saw Gunner a little bit more than we've seen any of our quarterbacks, but
question for Coach Hayes, Carroll, Randy, is there going to be a QB battle in Georgia, or is it locked and loaded that Gunner Stockton is going to be the guy going forward?
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with the QB depth chart there, so I have no idea.
Yeah. If all three of them, we'll give all three of them a minute to do so we can put all the comments up together. And Garrett, what's up? Our Texas buddy.
Garrett, appreciate you, man.
Brian's got the best answer.
Yeah, that's fine. But when you trust me, you know that helps out from time to time.
No. You know, NHL is still one I haven't gotten into as much, but I know that if they had a team closer, and I know Nashville, I guess, isn't that far, going to a hockey game is an experience.
That is a great experience. Yes.
Yeah, it is a great experience. So
yeah, I went to I was in New York and went to a New York Rangers game with a vendor one time. They took us out and awesome experience. Awesome experience.
It is.
I didn't know the names of any of the players or anything. I knew the basic rules, but that was just a great experience.
Yep. Number one, you're gonna and Chris is following up on that one. You're definitely getting smacked.
I probably will.
I don't know. I could text her real quick and tell her she needs to tune in. So let me see. I just need some hobbies. Yeah. So I'm with him though, because our Saturdays are so centered around college football that sometimes I walk around the house and start cleaning because I don't know what else to do on Saturdays. Yeah. So it's really weird. So pinging you guys all hours in the group text, I'm shocked. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And she says it's gonna be fun as far as that goes. Yep.
It'll be interesting. On the same
page as far as that. So, and Randy's going with Gunner to start. So.
Okay, and then they just go from there and see what happens.
Yep. Just on the right point. Yep. See, and Randy, we'll definitely be checking that out. If you do another one, as far as that goes. But yeah, it's an interesting spring for the other Blue Ball. Oh, that was another thing I was going to bring up, Rod. I had this up. So Arch Panning has already opened up. Yeah, I don't know, man. I've got like this nagging cough that only appears when I do shows with you. So like I'm fine every other part of my life. Don't ask me.
I make you sick. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, so you know, you made everyone in the chat sick. They already mentioned it. So Arch Manning is like the ESPN bet has put him as the Heisman Trophy favorite to start the year.
I listen, I get his last name is Manning, but what have we seen from him that gives him that title already? That's what I don't understand. And keep in mind, I got to look up Texas's schedule. Isn't their first game at Ohio State next year?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, Texas and Ohio State. Yep.
That's gonna be a heck of a first game for Arch. Well, no, didn't he start a game? Did he start any games yet at Texas, or has he?
I think he started. Yeah, no, because Ewers took his yearly. I got hurt for a while.
I got hurt. Yeah. Okay. But that's gonna be a heck of a way to start off the season at Ohio State.
I feel like Mississippi State. I might be wrong on that one, but I know he started. So
yeah.
Of course, Garrett has already left, so you can't ask him.
Garrett is gone. Yeah.
Oh, and there was a hot take in there.
Oh,
Gunner gets beat out, so we'll definitely see that one.
And I hope I'm pronouncing the guy's name. Puglisi. Yes. Beats out Gunner, and I'm not against Gunner, but I think Pug has the higher ceiling. Interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you, Coach.
To check that out too as well. So, and I miss Lady Alpha. She's like, because I like to clean. That's what I do when I'm idle and I can't think of what to do. I clean. So yeah,
clean up.
I'll swing by. So your only problem is if I clean somebody else's stuff, things get put back in spouts. You have no idea. We're like, Herb, why'd you put this here? I'm like, I don't know. It's clean though, so it'll be clean to put up, but you might know. Raj, is this true? Did you break a lot of promises during football season?
No, I didn't. We were good this season. I was good and split up all the right time, family time, and then football. And my wife was very, very cordial with everything, and we were cool about it. She knows when the game comes on, I'm a little focused over there, but the funny thing
Mom
is,
doesn't even call during the game.
Yeah. She knows when I tell her what time the games are. She knows what time the games are, so she just says, "Hey, either before the game, during commercial, halftime, whatever, can you help me out?" Sure, no problem, and I do it. So it works out.
Mm-hmm. Randy, to your other, I don't know if you were talking about just the Georgia fans being welcoming or us too, but man, we definitely like seeing you over here. Creators, we don't know all that many Alabama ones either. So what?
There's my wife.
My goodness.
Yes, you are so cordial, babe. I appreciate you.
There's Rod's wife. Hey, don't go back and watch like 5 minutes ago. Don't do that.
Yes, I'll tell her about it. Now she's gonna ask about it once I get off.
Oh, are you getting a text message now? What's he talking about? Oh, he said me and mom talk during. Oh, like I said, you're better than me. My mom knows not to call. She called me 30 minutes before game one time. Was like, "Hey, I knew it hadn't started yet, so I could still get in there." So
yes.
Oh, she said. If there is no rewind, it's lost forever.
Yeah.
There, I got you, Rod. You're good now.
I said nothing but positive things, babe.
Yes, and how much?
And yes, I will. Yeah, I'm gonna knock out the dishes after the podcast. All right, go ahead.
You talk to my mom there. Oh,
wow. Mike's talking about your mom.
Oh, yeah, wow. He's talking about. No, he said he's talking about your mom.
He's talking about your mom.
Oh, no, he was talking about your mom. You gonna take that? Look, he's talking about your mom. I'm gonna tell your mom you didn't want to defend her.
Oh my gosh.
All right, let's get into our awards.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll shoot Cowboys. Yep. Well, good to have you then, Mike. Man, appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Mike.
My question then for you is: do you think has Gundy worn out his welcome? Is it time to go, or are you riding there as long as it takes?
How long has Gundy been there, man? I looked this up, I think, during the season, but I forgot what year he got there. It's been a minute, though.
Yeah. I thought they'd have a much better season, so I feel like that's where the disappointment comes from. But that's from outside the, looking from the outside in, it's always different. So, all right, Raj, you ready?
Yes, let's do it.
He said he needed to do for years, man. Yeah, to go. He needed to go for years, man. Yeah. I think this year with all the new faces coming in and you had your top two teams leaving the conference, for them to take a huge step back the way they did, it just feels like that's got to be the end.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm a man. I'm 40. That seems like that was 40 years ago.
I like that from Mike. That was funny.
Like the Mike, I feel like this was too far a step back in a chance where you should have been trying to take hold of the conference. But like I said, that's from the outside, so who knows? Oh, did I already skip ahead?
I believe you did.
Yeah. So this is what happens when you start playing around with the graphic before you get on air. So, all right. Our year-end awards. Keep in mind, we did SEC awards. We did Alabama awards last week. So we tried to eliminate Alabama from this, so we didn't get just Alabama fatigue or any of our bias.
Yeah.
So without further ado, or with further ado, so he said been there since 2005. It feels like it's been longer.
I thought it was longer than that, but yeah,
it
at least 20 years. That's a long time.
Back in 1988. So, where do we start? Our overachieving team. And you kind of already saw the graphic.
Yep.
My picks were on the left. You're on the right.
Basically,
you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I don't mind. I had to go with the Florida Gators. For those that aren't familiar, the Florida Gators had I want to say it was the toughest strength of schedule at all of college football. If it wasn't the toughest, it was like top 3 or top 5, whatever the case may be. They have a brutal schedule every year. They're going to have another brutal schedule in 2025.
And we thought he was getting fired halfway through.
We all thought Billy Napier was going to get fired, but for them to end up 8-5 with that schedule, kudos to them. I kind of feel like DJ Lagway kind of saved the season and saved Billy Napier's job.
He's going to go a long way.
Okay, Mike, go ahead and cue it in the comments. Here come the Lagway joke. They had some good wins over LSU, Ole Miss. They beat Kentucky. I don't know if that was a great win. Kentucky didn't really pan out the way that I thought their season would. And I feel like had Lagway started off the season and remained healthy the entire season, they might have got to 10 wins. They played a really, really good game against Georgia. Obviously, Lagway got hurt in that one. But yeah, for them to win eight wins with that schedule, kudos to them. Don't forget about the Tennessee game. They went to overtime. They lost that one. They almost won that one. And that was in Knoxville. So look for Florida to be on the rise and maybe get the 9 or 10 wins next season.
Yep, very good. So the Vanderbilt one was to me one of the obvious ones. You know, they went to a bowl. A lot wasn't expected of them. Rode Pavia Magic. Beat a number of teams. I can't remember any of the teams they beat, and no one needs to remind me. But I just know that they beat some teams. When I was going to check out the preseason, you know, how many games your one loss, South Carolina was at like 3 or 4. And for them to be at 9-3, and sniffing the playoffs, and Sellers stepping up the way he did, I had to give them a nod too as well in the overachieving team. So we'll make Lagway just become a long way with my maturity. Good for you, Mike. Good for you. So, let's see. Underachieving team. I love your answer. I go first because your answer is the better one. Yeah.
All right, cool.
So I started off with Kentucky. I was looking at their I think it was only 6.5 game, you know, that they were supposed to win their over under. The writer who did this, the CBS Sports, picked under, and then they still underachieved on that, you know, and it was like you saw glimpses at times, and you know, you saw the Ole Miss game and the Georgia game. And you thought this team has a talent if they took a little couple of chances on offense, and they're better. Defense is great. So for them to win one SEC game and just to have this terrible season, like they were thinking basketball season, halfway through the football season.
I just feel like their offense just didn't do them any justice this year. It was all strictly on their defense. Had they had a better quarterback and a better offensive play, then I think they would have had a few more wins this year. But
which I don't get, because you went and got a transfer quarterback. It's one thing if you just have maybe recruited badly, but if you go get a transfer quarterback, I just expect better. So And Raj,
I had to pick Auburn so I could tease my brother here. I had to pick on them. Of course, obviously they failed to make a playoff game. They had their highest rated.
They failed to make a bowl game.
A bowl game. I'm sorry. And they had their highest rated recruit in the history of Auburn football, in Cam Coleman. Offense didn't look that great this year. I'm surprised that they lost to Cal. They just played. That was just a horrible game on there, and I felt like they also should have beat Arkansas as well, even though Arkansas had a pretty decent season. But yeah, this is just. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. This is my way to pick Auburn. They underachieved, and I was happy to see it.
Yeah. And let me call up what I had. If my computer will stop jumping for a second. To Charmaine's last point. Yeah, I know they beat Ole Miss, but that was their only SEC win. So you can't get a game like that and play Georgia tough and then like Chris like, finish the way they did. Yeah, I don't know. That's why I said underachieving. Like if I just thought they had nothing, like if Arkansas had that team, or like Mississippi State, I'll never say Mississippi State's underachieving because that's what I expect. But you have the Ole Miss and the Georgia game to prop you up, and then it's like, where is this the rest of the time? That one was a close one, but they did win 9 games and then win their bowl game. So it's basically what you're saying is for them they should have made a playoffs, which I do think this was their best Ole Miss team and they didn't make the playoffs, so that says a lot. But I just had too many glimpses from Kentucky for them to only win one SEC game. So all right, let's go. Worst performance of the year. I don't remember what I picked. I guess we're gonna click in and find out.
I'll go first on this one. This was kind of
Randy's with you too, Raj. Auburn is your preseason. Yep.
Cool.
I know it's Kentucky, but you're still in the SEC. Like I said, if they just look terrible against all those games, then that's fine. But when you show me glimpses and then you beat Ole Miss, then I think better of you. So that's what. So, but they made the playoffs, so I can't give them that total.
They did.
But yeah, Tennessee was like a trendy upset pick, and that just went away quickly. So, Brath lost to LSU and Delphi. Yep. All right, you said you want to go first in this one.
Yeah, worst performance. There were.
Which, by the way, Alabama would have won this one easily, maybe twice.
Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out at the beginning before the awards. Like this is all this stuff is going to be omitting Alabama. So worst performance, I had to give that to OU in the Red River rivalry. Coming into this game, I think Texas was 5-0. OU was like 4-1. I thought this was going to be an entertaining game. I want to say I might have picked Oklahoma in the upset in this game.
So. Yeah.
I did. With this being a rivalry game, you want it to be competitive. But it was 34-3. This game was never competitive. Texas blew them out the water. I was disappointed by OU's performance. And I already know what Brian's going to say, but we beat Bama. Yeah, I get it. But we're just talking about this performance right here. OU let everybody down with this one. Just hoping to see a little more fight with them, but it never got to that point.
Yeah. I went with Ole Miss loss to Kentucky, especially given it's only Kentucky. Now looking back, now you see Kentucky only won one SEC game. It was at Ole Miss. You win this game, and I know you can pick out the other two, loss to Florida, whatever, but you win this game and you're in the playoff, but to pop up, you only get 17, you're at home, it's your best chance to win. This is not a game you can drop. And it's one of those that looks worse in hindsight. At the time I was like, oh, this is a tough one. But then you lose the other games and you're like, man, go back to this one. And this home game is a game you had to win.
Yep.
And you're in the playoffs, and you may be talking about Ole Miss's best season ever. So that's why I went with Ole Miss. There's probably several games out there. And like I said, I think the Alabama losses probably beat both of these, but thankfully we got to talk about that last week.
Yeah.
All right. Best performance of the year. And there was like several of them. So I think we just kind of picked two, but I think there was a lot of different ways we could go.
You good.
Is it suspense? Are you ready?
Yep.
LSU takes down Ole Miss, and Ole Miss tames it down. Ole Miss is getting a lot of play in this.
They are. They're getting a lot.
So, and yeah, I don't either. So,
what's that?
Don't register OU at Texas.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to comprehend that still.
Two mules fighting over turnip. Those two. Yeah.
Hold on. I've never heard that one before. Two mules fighting over a turnip. Man, I gotta get me a notepad or something. Coach Chris Hayes. I like that one. Two mules fighting over a turnip. Holy moly! I gotta add that one into my. Oh my god!
Did you just hit him with the holy moly?
I like that one. Shout out to Chris. Comment of the day. That's it. Two mules fighting.
So
go ahead.
I'll start with the Ole Miss one, and to Randy's credit, when he predicted the beginning of the year, this is the loss that he had for Georgia.
Yeah.
So he thought it was time. I didn't. I just, and Lane alluded to it. They basically spent the whole year thinking about the Georgia game, recruiting specifically for the Georgia game. So, Randy, I'm with him, and I had never heard it either. So I'm
hurting a bunch of fainting goats. Oh my gosh,
I'm using
Chris
these,
is
by
on
the way.
point tonight, man.
But no, Randy, definitely not for me either. So I just thought at that time that was huge. The performance was good. It was kind of dominating the fans. It was at Georgia. I didn't think that you could play that game 10 times and I'd probably still pick Georgia every single time.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was a great performance by them and a great win by them.
Yeah. I went with the LSU Ole Miss. Just as far as performance, I would say just LSU's way of fighting their way back into that game and winning the game. I mean, throughout that game, it just looked like two mules fighting over a turnip. This wasn't one of Garrett Nussmeier's.
Really? Oh my gosh. You heard it 2 seconds ago.
I don't even know if I used that appropriately, but I had to say it.
Oh my God.
Shout out to Coach Chris Hayes again. Okay. This was not one of Garrett Nussmeier's best games. He ended up with three touchdowns, 2 interceptions. It wasn't one of his best games, but the last 2 touchdowns that he threw kind of got him back into the game. And if you remember that one touchdown he threw in overtime was a beautiful pass. So again, I guess give performance to LSU fighting their way back into that game and beating Ole Miss. That was a good game. And Nussmeier again didn't have a great game, but he ended it really, really well, and they got the W.
Yep. All right. And what is this? Our last one, player of the year. Okay, so we got 2. Which, by the way, game of the year is coming up. So if anybody wants to make some guesses for theirs, there's other there'll be a little bit of time left for sure. So hold on, I gotta write this. Hurting a bunch of fainting goats.
Are you writing this down really?
I'm putting in I'm texting it to you, so you'll
please do so because I'm gonna go to work tomorrow. I'm using all these phrases.
Any one y'all throw on is getting used tomorrow. And I'm gonna use it like this too. Man, it's just like 2 mules fighting over a turnip.
Yeah.
With not an expression, just like it's just normal. It's this rolling off. So
gotcha.
All right, ready to go. Player of the year. Obviously not Alabama one, and maybe just a person that caught our eye.
Yep.
Do you want to give yours first, or you want me to go mine?
You go ahead.
I went with Lagway, just because it was kind of like I felt like he saved Florida's season and saved Napier's job. Yep. So, this isn't a stats-based thing for me. Do I think he was like the best quarterback in the conference? No. But the excitement he brought and what I thought was going to happen with Florida and how he kind of flipped that narrative on its head this year, that's why I went with him.
Yeah. I had to go with the SEC Offensive Player of the Year and Dylan Sampson. He broke Tennessee's single-season rushing record, had 22 rushing touchdowns. He rushed for at least 100 yards in about 10 games, including, I think, 101 against Georgia and 139 against us. And the thing about our game is that the first half of our game, we kind of shut him down. They weren't really utilizing him that much. But then he came out in the second half. They said, oh, yeah, we forgot about this Dylan Sampson guy on our team. They gave him the ball. They won the game. He just had a phenomenal season. Kudos to Dylan Sampson. I don't really say kudos a lot to somebody wearing that colored uniform, but he had a phenomenal season. So I'll give him his flowers.
Raj, this is you most of the time.
You run too long at once. Wait, is that another?
Yes.
Oh my gosh! I cannot keep up. You run too long in one spot.
Defense, yeah. Mike, I'll probably never mention a defensive player or ever talk good about him or I'm just not that guy. I would rather see a 50, 54-49 game than a 10-7 game. I'm just bad. So some good choices over there as far as the games of the year. I think that's.
But if you run too long in one spot, isn't that like being on the treadmill though? Like you're kind of just
no, because if you're on the treadmill, at least you're exercising. He's basically just saying you're putting out a lot of energy, but you're not getting anything done.
I understand that. Now, see, out of all the ones he said tonight, I understood that one just by reading. I got
that. Gotcha. Chris, the only reason why you're wrong on that one is because we did Bama Awards last week.
Yeah,
and that was our game of the year. So we tried to not oversaturate with Bama. But to me, I mean, just because you brought it up, that was, and not just because of the outcome. I think even if it flipped, if Georgia had made the comeback and held on at the end, I still think that's the game of the year SEC wise, just because of the hype going into it, the new regime, the way the game started, the way Georgia bounced back. Like I think to me that would still be the SEC game of the year. So I just think it had everything in it. So and you got some other ones in there. Well, we'll go ahead and give ours and then we'll see what's there. So. And to clarify, Rodg is the first game, not the second game. I guess
the first one. Yeah,
so you can go ahead.
Yeah. The first one, I think Georgia won this game with a 30-15. This was the most televised in the 2024 season. This was the most televised regular season game. A lot of, if you remember, there were a lot of celebrities at the game. Huge game. From an entertainment perspective, from a sports fan, it wasn't that great because Georgia just dominated. Georgia's defense just absolutely dominated. I was about to say Arch Manning, Quinn Ewers and that Texas offense. They really stepped up and shut Texas down early, gave them the W. But overall, this was my game of the year. It was a huge game.
Yeah. And I definitely and Carol loved your pick too as well. Yep. So, and we always try to pick different ones too. By the way, because I knew when he picked that one, I was like both of those games were good. We kind of try to keep it strictly SEC because the Georgia Tech one might have slid in here too as well because that was fun, especially on a Friday night. I went with the LSU South Carolina game because especially if you you look at the score first, the 36-33. What was it? 2 pick sixes called back for South Carolina. You're at home and you're not even getting home cooking, so that's bad. The last one really controversial, I guess, because the guy who ended up getting a call back just personal foul away from the play. So that was crazy. Right. You look back, that might be the game, one of the games that keeps SEC, South Carolina out of the playoff too. LSU kind of saved their season for a moment in that one. So that was just a fun one and a fun atmosphere. So that's why I gave that. But I think there's others you could have mentioned. Like the LSU Ole Miss game, I think would have maybe fit that bill too. And did I miss one up there? And like I said, Chris had a good one with Bama, Georgia. Charmaine also mentioned South Carolina, Texas A&M. That was I don't remember what I was doing. I just don't remember watching much of that game. So that's why it didn't get my. Go ahead, Rodg. I'm sorry.
That's another thing. That's when I do these voting and when I give my awards and stuff like that, I have to think about games that I actually watch. Some of these games I watch clips because I didn't watch every single SEC game. But like Georgia, Texas, for example, I watched that game from beginning to end.
Right.
And again, if we had included Bama, then Bama and Georgia would have been, of course, the game of the year. I think that would have been, hands down. But
Chris was.
I picked Georgia.
Yep, and that's why it is definitely a biased list. Like Rodg said, we try to pick games that one of us was actually watching for it. So.
Exactly.
And no, Carol, I didn't even, I was just, obviously at one time I'm rooting for Georgia Tech just because of the underdog factor.
Yep.
But if I had a dog in the fight for real, I'd have been like, yeah, this is too much. Overtime is bad enough. But then when you get to the point where it's one play, win or lose, yeah, that's it. And yeah, Chris, that's why another reason why I put it in there. You put one more, and that's why Ole Miss got my underachieving for the loss for, not underachieving, but the worst performance for the loss to Kentucky. Either one of those teams, they win those games, they can get in the playoffs. So, or maybe one of them bumps the other out. But yeah, South Carolina wins that one, and it's a game that they pretty much had control of and let it slip away in crazy fashion. So that's it. All right, that was the awards. Like I said, anybody who missed it, Alabama ones were last week. If you want to check that out, and then this week. SEC awards. And again, thank you, Big Mike, for putting that together.
Appreciate you, Big Mike.
That was fun. So, Rod, we have a couple minutes, and we might lose part of the audience with this, but we just at least have to mention it, even though this is a we do football. Okay, that's what we care most about. But I did at least give you one quick second to just talk about how ridiculous this Luka Doncic trade is. I know you like it for your Lakers, and your LeBron part of it for the future. But and for those who don't care about basketball, it's just basically here's the equivalent. Luka is a top 5 player. Anthony Davis is like 5 or 6 years older. The GM for the Dallas Mavericks got fed up with Luka and his conditioning and his antics and decided he wanted to trade him without shopping him to anyone. He called one person and said, I want to trade him to get this one person from you.
Right.
And they basically traded a top 5 player for an aging defensive, great guy and a bag of chips. So it's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen.
It's weird. I think this trade is going to be justifiable for both teams if each key player in the trade can stay healthy. Right now, Anthony Davis missed tonight's game because he had the abdominal strain, which we knew he was already going to be out anyway. So he might not be back for maybe another week, couple more days. I don't know. So Luka's out. He's not expected to be back until I think February the 11th or 12th, something like that. So probably another week for him. So again, if Dallas can get Anthony Davis and Anthony Davis can remain healthy the rest of the season, I could see Dallas as a top 3, top 4 team in the West and making a nice playoff run.
In the short term.
On the short term, right. Now, if they get him and he gets hurt later on this season, or if his injuries continue throughout the rest of his career.
He's about to be 32, Raj.
He's going to be 32, but in Anthony Davis years, it's like 41. So if he continues to get hurt in Dallas, then it's a wash, and they just basically lost Luka for nothing.
Yeah.
On the other hand, the Lakers.
Oh, and I'm sorry, real quick on that, Raj. That was another part of it. They didn't want to pay him the $345 million.
Yes,
they did not want to pay him.
Luka was eligible for a supermax at the end of the season. 348 million, whatever, and they didn't want to pay him.
345 for him. It kind of slides depending on where you're at. Blah blah blah. Anyway, but sorry, I wanted to throw that.
No, you're fine. You're fine. And then if the Lakers can get a healthy Luka again will be back maybe another week or so. And if he can help out LeBron and the rest of these guys, I can see the Lakers making a nice playoff run too. But again, there's just big ifs on each side. I know Dallas wasn't happening with Luka's conditioning. I just don't understand how they were that unhappy that they wanted to trade their 25-year-old superstar who's like 5-time first-team All-Pro, 5-time All-Star, 5-time blah, 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 blah.
He made more All-Pros than Steph Curry. And he had a 7-year career.
Exactly.
2 Western Conference finals and an NBA final.
If it's that serious, just have a sit down with him, do whatever you got to do, and get him into shape. But you don't trade him. My hopes is that by him going to LA, he can go under LeBron's wing as far as the conditioning is concerned. They can start working out together. Maybe LeBron can give some tips and get him into shape a little bit. But again, if both of these players can stay healthy, it's a win for both for each side. But if they both get hurt, then
they can go to the final. I think in the short term. But I think their long term is just much, much better.
Yeah.
Cuban sold he's not a majority owner anymore.
Yeah.
So he sold his majority stake. So, he would not let this Yo, this was, by the way, the GM. This was all him. He called his buddy Rob Pelinka and said, "I wanted to do this." Yes, and it was you are 1,000. There was stuff he just didn't like. Yeah, so it's
wait a minute.
Go listen to some Dallas. I see it. I'm waiting. I'm about to put it up there.
Okay.
Go listen to some Dallas Mavericks. They are mad. So yeah. Nobody. No. So whoever the majority owner is now, he did have to run it by him and okay it. But this was clearly just the GM. So, odd question for both of you. Talking about things. Is one of you a gamer? I am not. I've got my old Nintendo where I can play some Tecmo Bowl, but that's so.
We are not, Chris. Unfortunately, not. Go back to what? Let's see.
More value.
Yeah,
I think with Zion, I could see this trade happening for Zion and getting so little.
Yeah,
I could see that part of it, but Luka should have commanded a lot more. But and then to one of these points,
excuse me,
one of my favorites, Chris. One of my favorites.
Tecmo Bowl. Yeah.
How do you not tell Luka it's coming? Luka was surprised by the trade. Like there was no conversation he made. So it goes back to
Dallas was his home. He loved it here. I mean, he was playing great here. He was the face of the team, etc. That's just I don't know. That's hard. That's hard news. I always wonder how NBA players take that by getting traded like that. And same with Anthony Davis. He's like, oh, okay, I guess I'm not here anymore. So it's unfortunate for both of them, but I hope they both have bright futures ahead.
Yeah. You can't find a single person on the Mavs side though that's happy about this trade.
Yeah,
and they're getting a top 20 player and a defensive player of the year candidate in Anthony Davis. All right, go ahead and put that one up, Rod. I know you've been waiting.
Did I lose it, Chris? You might have gotten beaten out. I know you threw some sayings in here tonight, but let me see if I can find it. Here we go. And a feather dusted the next. Shout out to Michael from kicking out at 2. Chris, you got like 2 minutes to come in and try to beat that one. What was the one Chris said earlier? It's like 2 mules fighting over some collard greens or something like that, or over
a turnip. Oh my God, you can't put your own.
Lord,
yo.
Oh man, I love.
Yeah, Michael. And the best part about this was if the other person played with the Raiders and you pick post play every time, he could still sometimes break it and get loose. Yep. It was crazy. So
yeah.
And he said, "Yep, I can't keep up with the games anymore. That's honestly
I can't. The last game I played a little bit was Grand Theft Auto 5, and it was just so complex and just so different than what I was used to playing. I had to put the controller down. I'm like, dude, I can't do it. I play Madden a little bit, but I haven't played it in years again. It's been 7-8 years since I played Madden, but I always like playing that.
So, Mike, Rob Pelinka's already hinted at another move. I thought they would maybe get somebody cheap this year, and then maybe fully explore the market on the offseason. My problem with that plan is you've wasted another year of LeBron, and he doesn't have many left.
Yes.
So, but I don't know what value you're going to get from a big man in the middle of the year. But I might be wrong. I didn't see this trade coming, so I have no idea. So.
And one thing right now, the Lakers play the Clippers tonight. The Lakers were going to lose this game with Anthony Davis or without Anthony Davis. The Lakers don't play the Clippers well. The Clippers always beat them up. So let's not say the reason the Lakers lost tonight is because it has nothing to do with it. Lakers are going to lose that game.
Jeepers, Rog. No faith.
They were. Oh, yeah, to Mike's question, I hope that the Lakers try to get a bit. To Herb's point, I'm sorry, the Lakers need to get a big man like ASAP within the next few days if they can. Obviously, they're not going to get another Anthony Davis, but just somebody to clog the hole. And on the topic of NBA, while we're here, let's not be surprised if we see another one or two big names moving. I know there's talks about Kevin Durant in Phoenix and what's going to happen there. I heard some rumors that there are some rumblings that he could possibly go back to Golden State because Golden State's been reaching out to everybody.
Yeah. And Jimmy Butler wants to go to Phoenix, so we'll see if that ever results. Yeah. I'm out.
I think Jimmy Butler ruined Jimmy Butler.
Yes, I agree. And by the way, Raj, he'd fight a mule for some good greens. So.
Oh, yeah. I love college.
Yep. Agreed. Yep. All right, Raj, I got 2 quick questions for you.
Okay.
All right. You ready?
Yep.
First one is one we've done several times. I'm trying to figure out if the last couple of years have changed your answer any, or you're going to go with your usual. Okay. One play from the 3-yard line.
Okay.
Alabama players, from Saban era and then the 1 year of DeBoer.
Okay.
All right. You got to score a touchdown. Who are your 2 wide receivers?
Okay.
Your running back, your quarterback, and then whoever your flex is, another tight end, running back, wide receiver. I know you didn't win fantasy football, so you might not know what a flex person is, but they can be any one of those those three.
Hold on, I get a quarterback, 2 wide receivers, a flex, and a running back?
Yes.
Running back's going to be Derrick Henry, 3-yard line. Quarterback is going to be I'll probably take Bryce because Bryce was the smartest. Bryce's accuracy and his just cerebral, whatever you want to call it. But oh yeah. I'm not picking Milroe. I'm not picking Milroe. Nope. I'm gonna take Bryce the QB, Derrick Henry as my running back. Julio Jones is gonna be one of my receivers. The size, you can't beat that. I really, really like Jerry Jeudy because his route running. I feel like that stop and go will just really, really get somebody. So I'll just go and stick with him. And my flex.
So no Ryan Williams, no Devontae Smith, huh?
I'm fine with Jeudy. It's only 3 yards. Yeah. It's only 3 yards. I can live with Jeudy.
I'm just curious. Yeah, curious.
And my flex player, Jalen Waddle. I got to take Jalen Waddle. Mr. Everything.
I like it. I like it. And I think that's kind of what you went with before. So. Yeah, Thunder got a great team. Great team. I think they're easy to root for too. So,
yep.
Charmaine does not like your Bryce pick though.
Looking for SGA to be MVP this year too.
Who are you picking at center?
I like. Oh my gosh, I forgot his name. I was about to say I like Landon Dickerson.
That's what I like. Personality, maybe more than just straight center.
Or was it Ryan Kelly? I like Ryan Kelly too. So yeah, one of those two. I forgot Ryan Kelly's name.
You almost forgot Ryan. It's Ryan Kelly.
I know.
In case you didn't know. Okay. All right, Raj. Work, play, live, ditch.
Okay.
Coming off our SEC awards.
Okay.
Hugh Freeze, Brian Kelly, Sam Pittman, or you take Eli Dirk, whichever you want.
Okay. And
Josh Heupel.
I'm ditching Hugh Freeze. I think we just get into too much trouble. We just
So Hugh,
hey man, I'm married. I'm cool. You go do what you got to do over there. I don't want to know about it.
I could not disagree more with Mac Jones from the 3. I need somebody with some kind of mobility if things break down. I've seen Mac Jones almost hurt himself sliding. I don't know if that was for what you just said, the Hugh Freeze or that, but Mac, if the play is perfect, Mac knows where to go. If it breaks down, I saw Mac Jones almost hurt himself sliding one time.
Yeah. Almost hurt himself running. Hold on. Josh Heupel, Josh Heupel, Sam Pittman, and who?
Brian Kelly.
Brian Kelly. Okay. I'll probably work with Brian. Ooh. You know what? I'll work with Sam Pittman. I like Sam Pittman. Seems like a nice guy. Seems like it might be a little laid back, but you still get the job done. I'll probably hang out with Josh Heupel. He seems like he might be a cool guy. We get a lot of views just hanging out together. Tennessee and an Alabama guy. That'd be interesting. And then I'll live next to Brian Kelly, but I wouldn't pay too much attention to him. I don't want to listen to this conversation. Yeah. Hey, Brian, nice line. Leave me alone.
Winning the chip, though, doesn't have much to do with this question.
It doesn't. It has nothing to do with the question, yeah.
Like, from the 3-yard line, I just can't say that I would take Mac Jones over Bryce Young for sure, or any of the other guys for sure. So and that's like look at the teams they had around them. I don't think that's very fair at all. That's not even. I don't think you're even comparing. Like that's not even apples to apples at all. So, and I thought that's where he might go with that one for sure.
Pittman?
So with Pittman. Yeah. So I thought you would like the other. So, all right, Raj.
Yep.
You did a great job, man. It's another great show by you.
You always do a good job engineering the show, so we appreciate you, Herb.
I give myself a B+, but you Raj, A+. Bellissimo, mucho bello. All right, shout out to everybody in the comments as well. Appreciate you. The comments make the show.
Yes,
so we love it. You always help us get through. She said I didn't hear that, but it's from the 3-yard line. You need one play for a touchdown. Yeah, so that's what we're picking. We are planning on doing something for the Super Bowl this weekend. Yes. So be on the lookout for that. We'll have a little special where we'll come out and do that. And then next week, I don't know, we'll throw something together. We'll come out here. We'll have some fun. And then I guess we've got a couple shows coming up in between that too as well. Yeah. Right? So we got to get on the schedule with that. Yeah. And then next week, I think an Ohio State fan's going to have us on. So we'll be out there. appreciate y'all. Thank you for everybody coming on. We see some good nights coming in. Chris, Carol, Charmaine. Appreciate you guys always.
Carol, thank y'all, everybody. Randy, everybody. Big Mike.
Yep.
Alpha Pool.
Yep. Hope the Alpha Bull and Brian was up in there earlier too as well.
Brian,
so if we missed anybody,
Michael.
Apologize, but we appreciate you guys. Oh, yep, and Michael, thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for joining us, man. We hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you come back.
Yep. And like I said, we'll double check, but I believe we just recently subscribed to Michael too as well.
Yeah.
So y'all have a great night. Everyone, be safe out there, be blessed, and as always,
Roll Tide.